Welcome to The Explainer. We're going to dive into something pretty unsettling today. It's one of our most basic fears, right? The idea of our own homes being violated.
I mean, think about it. Your home is your sanctuary, isn't it? It's that one place in the entire world where you're supposed to feel completely safe, totally shielded from everything out there. But what if the danger isn't from a stranger trying to smash a window? What if it's from someone who already knows how to get in? Today we're looking at 3 true stories where the horror isn't about a broken lock. No, it's about that terrifying moment you realize the intruder knew you. They knew your secrets. All right, let's get into our first case. It all starts on what should have been just a totally normal, quiet Friday night. So picture this. You're home alone, and then you hear it, that super distinct sound of your garage door opening. You just know that shouldn't be happening. Your family's away, you're the only one there. Total chills, right? And here's what's so scary. The timing was, well, it was perfect. Too perfect. These intruders knew the family's schedule. They knew the house would be pretty much empty. So right away, this wasn't some random break-in. This was a planned, calculated attack. So the big question is, how'd they get in without breaking anything? Well, turns out the only way to open that garage was a hidden button inside the family car. And here's the kicker. The narrator admits he never locked that car. So someone they knew exactly where to look. And that's where the real fear sets in. I mean, just look at this quote. It wasn't random, it was a targeted invasion. It was done by somebody who knew their habits, their routines, and knew the secret way in. Okay, so our next case. This one shifts gears. It moves away from a simple physical weak spot to something way more sophisticated, something psychological. This story doesn't start with a crash or a bang. It starts with something much quieter and honestly way more insidious, a phone call. A woman's at home taking care of her elderly mom. She picks up the phone and she hears the exact words that every child just dreads. And the thing is, the call sounded totally legit. Why? Because this so-called nurse on the other end knew these incredibly specific private details. I mean, with that kind of information, her mom's full name, address, even about her recent hip surgery, how could you not believe it? So of course she panics. She bolts out the door, races to the hospital, and leaves her house completely unlocked. And when she gets there, you can probably guess. The ER has no idea what she's talking about. No record of her mother at all. She gets back home and the place is ransacked. And that's when she realizes just how cruel this whole thing was. It wasn't just about stealing valuable stuff. They took things that have zero monetary value but mean everything, like family photos and prescription bottles. It just feels so personal, so sadistic. You see, the weapon here wasn't a crowbar. It was information. The intruders literally weaponized a daughter's love for her mother. They took her deepest fear and turned it into their golden opportunity. Okay, let's move on to our last case. And I've got to tell you, this one is maybe the most bizarre. Because here, the invasion isn't just about a house. It's about invading someone's entire sense of reality. So it's late one night. Suddenly, there's this really aggressive pounding on the front door. On the porch, there's a stranger, and he's super agitated, and he's making this totally impossible claim that this isn't the victim's house, it's his house. And then it gets even weirder. The stranger starts rattling off all these little intimate quirks about the house. Things you could never, ever know just from looking at it from the outside. Details that our narrator, who's been living there for over a year, recognizes in a heartbeat. Then the guy pulls out this folder, and it's full of this chillingly convincing evidence. A lease agreement with his name on it, mail addressed to him at that house. And get this, recent photos of himself inside the house. They look totally authentic, and they just completely contradict the narrator's entire reality. This is nothing short of pure psychological warfare. It's called gaslighting. It's designed to make the victim question his own memory, his own sanity. And the final punch? 2 weeks later, his house is completely ransacked. No forced entry, which pretty much suggests the intruder had a key the whole time. So we've got 3 stories. They all seem so different on the surface. But what's the thread that connects all of them? Right, you've got physical intrusion, social engineering, and psychological warfare. 3 totally different methods, but they all share one terrifying common thread. In every single case, the invader's most powerful weapon wasn't a tool, it was knowledge. It was what they knew about the victim.
That personal information is what let them bypass all the normal security and just strike at a much, much deeper level.
And that's what takes these from just being simple burglaries and turns them into these deeply disturbing psychological violations. I mean, that feeling, the feeling that your private world has been watched, studied, understood, and then weaponized against you, that is a special kind of horror.
So, in the end, the real damage isn't the stuff that was taken from their homes. Not at all. It's about what was left behind. It's that permanent, lingering feeling of being watched, of being targeted, in the one place on Earth you're supposed to feel completely safe.
And that leaves you with a really chilling question, doesn't it? It's one that sticks with you long after you've changed the locks. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.